Every woman wants to be respected, but very few understand where real respect actually comes from. The world tells you that your value depends on how attractive you look, how many people admire you, how much attention you receive, or how perfect your life appears on social media. Every day, millions of women wake up believing they need to become prettier, richer, louder, or more popular before they can finally feel worthy. Yet the women who leave the deepest impression are rarely the ones chasing attention. They walk into a room without demanding to be noticed, and somehow everyone notices them anyway. Their confidence cannot be bought. Their peace cannot be shaken by criticism. Their happiness does not disappear because someone ignored their message or failed to appreciate them. That kind of strength looks effortless from the outside, but it is built through choices that most people never see. The biggest secret is that becoming a woman of value has very little to do with beauty, status, expensive clothes, or the opinions of strangers. It begins in a place that no one else can touch. It begins with the relationship you have with yourself. The moment you understand this truth, everything starts to change. The way you speak changes. The way you think changes. The people you attract begin to change. Even the opportunities that come into your life start looking different because the energy you carry is no longer based on proving yourself to the world. It is based on knowing exactly who you are. That is the difference between confidence that fades when life gets difficult and confidence that grows stronger with every challenge. Many people spend years searching for the secret to becoming unforgettable, while completely overlooking the habits that quietly shape a person's character every single day. Those habits are often invisible, but their results are impossible to ignore. Psychology has repeatedly shown that lasting confidence is not created by external praise. It grows from self-worth, emotional stability, and healthy boundaries. In other words, the strongest women are not the ones receiving the most compliments. They are the ones who no longer depend on compliments to feel valuable. Because it goes against everything modern culture promotes. We are surrounded by messages encouraging us to seek more attention, more approval, and more validation. But very few people talk about the freedom that comes when you stop chasing all of those things. That freedom changes your relationships, your career, your decisions, and even the way you carry yourself without saying a single word. There is a quiet confidence that cannot be faked. And once you understand where it comes from, you will never look at yourself the same way again. Throughout this video, you will discover the qualities that separate women who constantly seek acceptance from women who naturally earn respect wherever they go. You will learn why self-respect is more powerful than popularity, why emotional control is often mistaken for weakness, even though it is one of the greatest forms of strength, and why the courage to walk away from people who disrespect you can completely transform your future. You will also uncover the hidden habits that quietly increase your confidence every single time, even when no one is watching. Some of these lessons are simple, yet they have the power to change the way you see yourself forever. Others may challenge beliefs you have carried for years, but that is exactly where real growth begins. By the end of this video, you will understand why some women attract trust, admiration, and meaningful relationships without constantly asking for attention, while others spend years trying to impress everyone and still feel invisible. You will see that becoming a woman of value is not about competing with other women, pretending to be perfect, or creating an image that looks impressive online. It is about building a life that reflects confidence from the inside out. It is about protecting your peace instead of protecting your image. It is about making choices that align with your values instead of chasing temporary approval. Every lesson in this video builds on the one before it. So watching until the very end will give you the complete picture instead of scattered pieces. The final lesson is often the one people overlook the most, yet it has the power to bring together everything you are about to learn and turn knowledge into lasting transformation. Sometimes a single realization can completely change the direction of your life. And one of those realizations is waiting for you before this video ends. If your goal is to become a woman who is respected, confident, emotionally strong, and impossible to manipulate, then stay with me, because each minute will reveal another piece of the foundation that creates genuine value. This is not about becoming someone else. It is about uncovering the strongest version of the woman you already have the potential to become. Every habit, every mindset, and every decision we discuss today is practical, timeless, and relevant no matter your age, your background, or where you are in life right now. The journey toward becoming a woman of value does not begin when the world finally notices you. It begins the moment you decide to notice your own worth. That decision has the power to change everything that follows. So settle in, keep an open mind, and stay with us until the very last moment, because the most powerful takeaway comes at the end. Welcome to Unshakable Mindset, the place where we grow stronger together through wisdom, confidence, and personal development. If you're ready to build a life rooted in self-respect instead of seeking approval, make sure you subscribe to the channel and join our community, because every video is designed to help you become the strongest, wisest, and most confident version of yourself. Let's begin. The first sign of a woman of value is not the way she dresses, the way she speaks, or even the success she has achieved. It is the quiet certainty she carries within herself. She knows her worth long before anyone else recognizes it. That confidence does not come from compliments, likes on social media, expensive gifts, or constant praise. It comes from the decision to stop allowing other people to define who she is. Many women spend years trying to earn approval from family, friends, co-workers, or romantic partners. They change their personality to fit in. They stay silent because they fear rejection. They become exhausted trying to please everyone except themselves. The problem is that approval is temporary. The moment you depend on someone else's opinion to feel valuable, your happiness is no longer in your own hands. A single criticism can ruin your day. A single rejection can make you question your identity. A woman of value refuses to live that way. A woman of value refuses to live that way. A woman of value refuses to live that way. A single criticism can ruin your day. She understands that not everyone will like her, and she accepts that without losing confidence. She does not compare her life to carefully edited pictures online, because she knows comparison is a game with no winner. There will always be someone richer, prettier, younger, or more successful. Chasing those comparisons only steals your peace. Instead, she compares herself only to the woman she was yesterday. Every small improvement becomes a victory. Every lesson becomes progress. She also learns something many people fear. She enjoys her own company. She does not panic when she spends time alone, because solitude gives her space to think, grow, and reconnect with herself. She discovers that being comfortable alone is one of the greatest forms of freedom. When you enjoy your own company, you stop accepting people who only bring confusion into your life. You stop begging others to stay, because you already know your life has value, with or without them. That is why rejection loses its power. A woman who already knows her worth cannot be manipulated by someone threatening to leave. She does not need to prove that she deserves love, because she already believes she does. Her confidence is built from self-respect, not from outside applause. And that kind of confidence cannot easily be shaken. Knowing your worth naturally leads to protecting it. This is where boundaries become essential. Many people misunderstand boundaries and think they are rude or selfish. In reality, boundaries are one of the greatest forms of self-respect. Every woman teaches people how to treat her through what she accepts and what she refuses to tolerate. If someone constantly disrespects your time and you never speak up, they learn that your time is not important. If someone repeatedly crosses your limits and you continue allowing it, they assume there are no consequences. A woman of value understands this truth very clearly. She knows that saying no is not a sign of being unkind. It is a sign that she respects herself enough to protect her energy. She does not feel guilty for refusing requests that drain her or agreeing to situations that make her uncomfortable just to avoid disappointing others. She realizes that every time she says yes to something unhealthy, she is saying no to her own peace. That is a price she refuses to pay. She also refuses to stay where she is constantly ignored, disrespected, or taken for granted. Whether it is a friendship, a workplace, or a relationship, she understands that love without respect will never bring lasting happiness. She does not chase people who continue showing her through their actions that they do not value her presence. Walking away is not always easy, but she knows that protecting her peace is more important than protecting a relationship that slowly destroys her confidence. Standards are not about believing you are better than others. They are about refusing to settle for less than what supports your emotional well-being. The higher your self-respect becomes, the clearer your boundaries become. That quiet strength changes the way people interact with you because they quickly realize you will not sacrifice your dignity simply to keep them comfortable. Another quality that makes a woman truly valuable is emotional maturity. Many people believe strength means speaking louder, arguing harder, or proving every point. Real strength often looks completely different. It is the ability to remain calm when emotions are running high. It is choosing wisdom instead of impulse. Every person experiences anger, disappointment, frustration, and sadness. The difference is not whether those emotions exist. The difference is what you do with them. A woman of value does not allow temporary emotions to make permanent decisions. When someone insults her, she does not immediately react without thinking. She pauses. She understands that every reaction carries consequences. Sometimes silence protects your peace more than winning an argument ever could. She no longer feels the need to explain herself to people who have already decided not to understand her. She knows that arguing with people who enjoy conflict only wastes valuable energy. Instead of trying to convince everyone that she deserves respect, she simply behaves in ways that reflect self-respect. Her calmness should never be mistaken for weakness. Remaining composed under pressure requires far more strength than losing control. She thinks carefully before speaking, because she understands that words cannot be taken back once they are spoken. She chooses responses that solve problems instead of creating bigger ones. People often trust emotionally mature women because they create stability wherever they go. Their presence feels peaceful rather than dramatic. They do not spread gossip. They do not create unnecessary conflict. They understand that controlling yourself is far more powerful than controlling others. The strongest woman in the room is rarely the one demanding attention. She is usually the one whose calm confidence makes everyone else feel secure. While emotional maturity creates inner peace, continuous growth creates lasting confidence. A woman of value never believes she has learned everything. She stays curious because she knows growth never truly ends. Every book she reads expands her thinking. Every new skill she develops increases her independence. Every healthy habit strengthens both her body and her mind. Instead of waiting for confidence to magically appear, she builds confidence through competence. She understands that the more capable she becomes, the less fear controls her decisions. Learning a new language, improving communication skills, managing finances, exercising regularly, or developing professional expertise may seem like separate goals, but together they create a stronger identity. Every achievement becomes evidence that she can overcome challenges. Even failure becomes valuable because it teaches lessons that success never could. She stops seeing mistakes as proof that she is not good enough and starts seeing them as part of becoming better. She invests in herself because she realizes she is her greatest lifelong project. No one can take away knowledge once it has been gained. No one can steal discipline once it becomes a habit. No one can steal discipline once it becomes a habit. Every small improvement may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, those small actions completely transform a person's life. Growth creates confidence because every step forward reminds you that you are capable of more than you believed yesterday. That confidence then becomes the foundation of real value. One of the biggest differences between secure women and insecure women is how they respond to the success of others. Insecurity sees another woman's achievements as a threat. Confidence sees them as proof that success is possible. A woman of value does not waste her energy competing with every woman she meets. She understands that comparison only creates unnecessary pressure. There will always be someone with a different talent, different opportunities, or different circumstances. Constantly measuring yourself against others makes it impossible to appreciate your own progress. Instead, she focuses on becoming the best version of herself. She celebrates other women's victories because someone else's success does not reduce her own potential. She encourages instead of criticizing. She supports instead of competing. She understands that genuine friendships with strong women create inspiration rather than jealousy. Those relationships become sources of encouragement during difficult times and reminders that growth becomes easier when people lift each other up instead of pulling each other down. Every woman has her own timeline, her own challenges, and her own purpose. Comparing two completely different journeys only creates frustration. A woman of value knows exactly where her attention belongs. It belongs on her own growth, her own goals, and her own future. That mindset allows her to move forward with confidence instead of constantly looking over her shoulder. The people you allow into your life quietly shape the person you become. Every conversation influences your thinking. Every friendship affects your habits. Every relationship either strengthens your confidence or slowly weakens it. A woman of value chooses her relationships. A woman of value chooses her relationships carefully because she understands that peace is chooses her relationships carefully because she understands that peace is too valuable to sacrifice for unhealthy connections. She surrounds herself with people who respect her, encourage her growth, and celebrate her success without jealousy. She pays close attention to actions instead of empty promises. She knows that someone who repeatedly disrespects her boundaries is showing their true character. Instead of hoping people will eventually change, she accepts reality and makes decisions that protect her emotional well-being. Walking away from toxic relationships is never easy, especially when history and emotions are involved. But she understands that staying in the wrong environment often causes deeper pain than leaving it. She no longer fears being alone because she has discovered something powerful. Loneliness inside unhealthy relationships feels far heavier than peaceful solitude. Time spent alone becomes an opportunity to heal, reflect, and rebuild confidence. She realizes that her future depends greatly on the people she allows to influence her life. So she chooses quality over quantity every single time. Everything she does is guided by integrity, because she understands that reputation may attract attention, but character earns lasting respect. She keeps her promises even when no one is watching. She stays humble no matter how successful she becomes, because she knows there is always more to do. She treats people with kindness, not because she expects something in return, but because kindness reflects her values. She understands that actions speak much louder than carefully chosen words. Many people work hard to create a perfect image for others to admire, while neglecting the character that exists behind closed doors. A woman of value focuses on becoming genuine instead of appearing perfect. She knows beauty may capture someone's attention for a moment, but integrity earns admiration that lasts for years. People remember how you made them feel. They remember whether your words matched your actions. They remember whether they could trust you. Character quietly builds a reputation that no amount of appearance can replace. As she continues growing, protecting her peace, and living with integrity, she stops waiting for someone else to give her a meaningful life. She creates one herself. She pursues goals that excite her. She works toward financial independence because freedom gives her choices. She develops healthy routines that strengthen both her body and her mind. She makes time for experiences that bring genuine joy instead of constantly postponing happiness for some distant future. She understands that life is happening now, not someday. She does not wait for the perfect relationship, the perfect job, or the perfect moment before allowing herself to feel fulfilled. She builds a life she is proud of, one decision at a time. Every step she takes reflects purpose instead of fear. Every habit she builds reflects discipline instead of excuses. Every dream she pursues reminds her that fulfillment begins from within. She falls in love with her own journey because she understands that real happiness is not something another person hands to her. It is something she creates through the way she chooses to live every single day. Becoming a woman of value is not about becoming flawless. It is not about wearing the most expensive clothes, owning the most luxurious things, or trying to impress everyone you meet. Those things may capture attention for a moment, but they can never create the kind of respect that lasts a lifetime. Since the day you decide that your self-worth is no longer controlled by other people's opinions. It grows every time you choose self-respect over approval, peace over drama, discipline over excuses, and purpose over comparison. Every boundary you set, every promise you keep to yourself, every challenge you overcome, and every decision you make to become a better person adds another brick to the foundation of the woman you are becoming. That transformation does not happen overnight, but every single day you choose growth instead of fear. You move one step closer to becoming the strongest version of yourself. Always remember this. The world responds to the way you see yourself. When you constantly seek validation, you give others the power to decide your worth. But when you truly respect yourself, protect your peace, and live with confidence, people begin to see you differently. They respect your time because you respect your time. They value your presence because you value yourself. The greatest relationship you will ever build is the one you have with yourself, because it influences every friendship, every opportunity, every decision, and every dream that follows. Never underestimate the quiet power of a woman who knows exactly who she is. She doesn't need to prove her value because she lives it every single day. If this video encouraged you to see yourself in a new way, don't let this be where your journey ends. Let today be the day you start building the habits that will change your life, one small step at a time. And if you're ready to keep growing in confidence, emotional strength, self-respect, and personal development, make sure you subscribe to the channel and become part of our community. We create videos designed to help you build an unshakable mindset and become the best version of yourself. If you found value in today's message, please take a moment to like this video, because it helps more people discover these life-changing lessons. Share it with a friend, a sister, a daughter, or anyone who needs this reminder that true value never comes from seeking attention. It comes from knowing your worth. Thank you so much for watching. Keep believing in yourself. Keep choosing growth every single day, and I'll see you in the next video.